Hello and welcome to another video. I'm Lord Keith. The tank that you see is 4 years back in the making. I had a massive attack of snails. I bought an item from somewhere, I can't remember exactly where, but there were some eggs on the item, snail eggs, and they had yellow conefish snails, and they completely destroyed my tank. They killed my lobster, they killed the crabs that I had, they killed all my fish, over 1,000 pounds worth of fish, and they just decimated the tank in around 6 months. Now, after all the fish are gone, the final fish that I had, you see those catfish that you see swimming about going up and down the tank? They were all I had left in the other tank from the snails. So anyway, I got them out. I took this tank outside, I emptied it, I blitzed it completely, I salted the whole tank, and then I got a different tank. I put this one in my dining room, left it empty to dry, completely dry, and I got this other little tank and I put my catfish in there, and lo and behold, I got another attack of snails in there. These ones were little pink ones. Anyway, I started picking them out by hand each and every day, putting them in the bin instead of putting them down the sink or, you know, crushing them, because catfish don't eat snails. They don't eat dead snails or anything like that. And they kept coming and coming, and then eventually they changed from pink ones to brown ones, and I didn't know where they were coming from either, because I'd added nothing new. The whole tank was you know, everything in the tank was new, so I didn't know where these snails were coming from. Anyway, I bought, as you just saw, that big loach there swimming up and down. That is what is called a yo-yo loach. That is a snail eater. They crush the snail shell to get to the insides, but he was only a baby when I got him. He's twice the size he was now than he is now, and he's still only a baby. Anyway, I decided that I was going to set back up the big tank. That's this one here. I've recently redone it all my plants and everything. They're all ones I've had previously. They've all been boiled. I boiled them in boiling hot water. Then I've left them to dry. I've left them to soak in the boiling hot water, then took them out, left them to dry, and I put them away, and they've been away for quite a while, so I know there's nothing on them. And then I set up this tank after I cleaned it all out after salting it. I bought some new gravel, which is the orange gravel you see on the base. I brought brand new tubing for my filter, because my filter, my £400 filter, was completely blocked solid with brown snails inside. So I had to salt and wash all that out. That's been done. There's nothing in there now at all. I've completely cleared the whole tank, and I've just restarted stocking it. But what I've done instead of going for big fish and goldfish, I've gone for platies. All you see in there are different platies. There's one yo-yo fish, as you see there, he's swimming up and down the glass. There's 3 catfish. There's 1 neon tetra. There's 6 what they call sunshine tetras. There are 6 orange barbs. There's 6 redhead barbs, and there's 12 multicoloured barbs, which they're the ones that's like shoaling at the back with the big tails, with the black head and the big tail. They're all new. I've put them in today. But my tank is looking really good now. Anyone that's got a fish tank, if you get an attack of snails, I wouldn't just go for a yo-yo fish, you know, a yo-yo loach. Alright, they are good, but you need an adult one to really get rid of the bigger snails. What you need to do is clear your tank completely, because this has took me 4 years to get this right. after losing all them fish, I was completely disheartened. I didn't want to, I didn't want the aquarium anymore. But that fish tank there cost me a hell of a lot of money, and I didn't want to just smash it up and throw it away. Do you know what I mean? And I didn't want to sell it because I didn't know whether I was going to use it as a terrarium and buy myself a lizard, or a couple of guinea pigs or something like that. Not guinea pigs, hamsters, and keep them in there, or even a snake. But I decided to redo the aquarium. So it looks like that now. I'm very happy with it. But if you do get snails in your tank, I highly recommend any ornaments that you've got in the tank, or any plants or anything like that, unless they're real plants, because you can't do this with real plants. Plastic plants, you can take them out and boil them. You can boil your ornaments, but you've got to make sure, when I say boil your ornaments, I don't mean literally put them in a pan and boil them on the cooker. I'm talking about stick them in a bath and fill the bath with boiling hot water, and that will kill all the eggs and all the snails. But I highly recommend that you don't add anything until you've got rid of them. They take ages and ages and ages, and it's so expensive to replace everything. So just be careful. It took me a long time to get this like that, and I really love having fish around in my living room. They're so relaxing. In the evening when I put the light on, I can just sit there for hours and just watch them. I could fall asleep watching them because they're so calming. And it really helps with your blood pressure, by the way. If you suffer with blood pressure, having fish around in your house will keep you nice and calm. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed seeing into my little aquatic world. I'm not putting any more fish in there because that filter, the filter I've got, won't need cleaning for a long time, because they don't produce any much waste. And I feed them on frozen bloodworm. I feed them on frozen brine shrimp, and I give them flake, but I only give them a little pinch of flake. The filter sort of cleans it all up within 6 hours anyway, anything that's left. The filter's that strong, it drags it from right across the tank, and it pushes them back in. Now just 1 second, just let me check something. I thought there was something going on. That's not high enough. One moment. That should be doing that, because that isn't it. The reason you have the bubbles and the force in the water, that puts oxygen into the tank that the fish like, and they need it to stay alive. So yeah, highly recommended. Little platies, little barbs, little catfish, neon tetras, summer tetras, and a yo-yo loach to keep the snails away, and you'll have no problem. Anyway, I'll let you go. I hope you enjoyed this little video. Take care. I'm Lord Keith, and bye for now.